Eve. Figured we could do a little bit of a live. Don't know quite what I'm gonna work on, like specifically. Should put one of those on there. But I figure something here. I have this Santa ornament that I plan on making into a Nuka-Cola Santa Claus ornament. Maybe a sunset sarsaparilla, probably Nuka-Cola. Haven't quite landed there yet, but I think we're gonna make some, what's going on, Nebula? Thanks for joining us, Bjorn. Let's make some decor. Like, I want some things to hang from different businesses in Gimmick. Like, something that maybe is, like, considered, like a cultural thing, right? So I picked up these beads because I like the blue, because it's very similar to the blue that's in the stones in Gimmick. So I thought we would go with that. The nice muted red. We got some gold and silver. So we're going to make some things. And I think, yeah, let's get started on that. In case anybody is wondering, the thumbnail is Quinn getting his little Christmas snooze on underneath the tree. He's very smitten with it, very happy. Kenny was here earlier. She helped me put up the tree and decorate and everything, and Quinn was just a little menace. Now he's all tuckered out. How's everybody else doing tonight? So I've got this bead, and I'm trying to think, like, how do I want to present this? Do I just want, like, I don't want everything to be like a hanging lantern. Cheers. What's going on, Mudhorn? Welcome, welcome. But I think, like, maybe some sort of, I don't know. Like a specialized art piece or something. Just something cultural. I've got all these little odds and ends. Different things that I was saving for various Greeblies. Dry brushing and wrapping gifts. That is, for me, tomorrow night will be wrapping gifts. I like to do my wrapping on Christmas Eve while I watch It's a Wonderful Life. That's like, and eat Chinese food. That's like my yeah, my Christmas Eve tradition. There we go. That I very much enjoy. So I'll be doing that this year. So I got that going there. I pushed a rivet that was pulled. The stem got pulled through, so the rivet didn't pull correctly. But I kept it. This was a neat little piece. Put that on there. I could embed this hook in there or like screw it in, but I don't think the hook's the way to go. Let me get out some smaller Greeblies and we can take a look. Also, welcome everybody. Happy Christmas Eve. If you're celebrating. If you're not, also cool. We're just hanging out. We're not doing anything really holiday-centric or festive. We're just hanging out and keeping each other company for a little bit. And I think that's a good thing. So got some various things here saved that are like either Greeblies or pieces that I was like ready to use, but I just couldn't land on how I was going to use them. Excuse me. Like signs, pots and pans, a couple of specific blasters, that type of thing. Yeah. I think I'm going to turn this into like a little art piece with this. Can't for the life of me remember what this is. Yeah, Bjorn, you're supposed to use a paper towel for that to prevent that, buddy. I'm just speaking as a professional. Yeah. So I've got a little, like, green crystal. I don't think that's... Nah, the green crystal doesn't need to be involved in this. Does it? No, it does not, Famine. Thank you, guys. Neither do these, honestly. Let's make this like a little, it's like some sort of art piece. So let's get a sanding stick and some super glue and see what we can arrange here. Famine 2 nights in a row, must be Christmas. Hey, Triple D, one of our channel subscribers. Thank you. A bunch of our patrons here tonight. Always appreciated seeing you guys out. Just finished the latest Night Sister custom. 4 of them now. Nice. It's badass. I'm going to sand one of the sides just to give it some tooth. Help it get a little purchase as it glues to this. Whatever the hell it's supposed to be. It's going to be some sort of art thing. I you know, thinking culturally. Who knows what this exists for, but maybe it's an incense burner, maybe it's just something to show off wealth. But certainly that the clay is made from the stone that's around Gimmick. Or the sand. Maybe it's concrete made from the sands. Yeah. That was all plugged up, huh? Yeah, let's see. Cool. Here we go. Hey, Kenny. I was just telling everybody about Quinn being a delinquent, and now he's snoozing underneath the Christmas tree. And I think I'm going to paint maybe a little bit of red on those. I feel like the red and the blue and the black are just a good combination. Let that glue sit for another minute. Oof. Quinlan was not a good boy today. He was naughty. He was naughty. Misbehaving little fur ball. Oh, man. Trying to think. Probably make some type of lamp out of that. Little light cover. One of these silver or gold ones. Maybe we'll do gold. It can be like a... Yeah, that looks like a lamp to me. I'd buy that for $1. This side. Okay. That's one great thing about me that you guys know, is that I have zero patience when it comes for waiting for super glue to dry. And that is like good enough for me. Good enough. Good enough for government work. And that'll just be like a desk lamp on the background on somebody's table in an office, or maybe in a home, you know? Maybe that's a traditional family type heirloom. Good enough. Cool. So let's get a little red on there. I'm not doing anything, like I said, I'm not doing anything super spectacularly intricate tonight. But it's good to talk to you guys. As I said, do a little bit of red on this. Glued your fingers together with a grocery bag and super glue. Toxic and hot. Oh yeah. There's something in grocery bags, the plastic, the thin plastic. It starts to melt when it comes into contact with super glue. It's good stuff. It's good for you. Breathe that in. Make sure you breathe deep. I'm kidding. Don't do that, please. Water. Little red paint on the tip of that little tiny brush here. Too much. Too much moisture. Or this paint's already too wet, which, now that I think of it, I'd say that's too wet. I'm gonna have to get in there, clean that up. And I guess we'll do that top bar red too. Why is this like this? I don't know. What cultural significance does it? I don't know. Maybe it's gimmickian folk art. Maybe that's what it is. Gimmickian folk art is the name of my my punk band. Look at all the cat hair on my arms. Thank you, Daisy. Daisy's actually asleep in the living room window. She's on Santa Claus watch. Keeping an eye out for the big guy, you know. Art gallery on Gimmick. I considered doing an art gallery. One of the things that Famine on Gimmick moves sometimes is artwork, so I'm sure there will be opportunities for artwork to be showcased that he will be selling and moving. And as you know, just like here on Planet Earth, a lot of art gallery sales for higher value artwork is just money laundering, so same kind of works in space. And Famine on Gimmick, that version, my avatar, however it may be, that version of character is not so much an artist so much as he is a guy who can get you what you need, and he can help transfer those items to where you need them to be. That's his deal. Check that out. Bring that up for you. Just a little piece of artwork to go on a wall. Maybe it'll go outside of a residence or inside of a hallway in a residence. I think that would be pretty cool. And I got this little lamp thing. Something neat to put on a table or in the background of a shot. Now, late teens to early 20s. Nice. Trying to think. I just don't want to get too involved in any projects right this moment. I think that it is a good relaxing night. Maybe we can, I've got the Stegosaurus skull here. Maybe we can turn that into another wall mount for a club or a goon's lair. Maybe it's a piece of decor. I also gave it some thought of it like being on somebody's shoulder pad, right? Because it's got the points for the hinge for the bottom jaw. I'm like, I've got all these pirates and things that I've halfway started. You know, having maybe a Mandalorian of some sort, having a dinosaur skull as a shoulder pad would be pretty badass. So maybe we don't put that on there now. But what we could do just trying to think here. Yeah. All right. So this is not Vishnu. Obviously, less arms, no tusks. This is just some dollar store quasi-spiritual, like this is for the girls who's got the Namaste tattoo. But I think I want to put some black on that where I fixed it, because there was like this was a Christmas ornament from a dollar store too. That's the other thing. But it had like a hook on top. I took it off. I filled it in with super glue and baking powder and sanded it. And then I used my scribe to come in between and kind of like resculpt where it broke off. And I'm going to put down some black, put down some more gold on here. And then I think I'll pick out some of the details to match the colors that we see. And this will be like an old deity that maybe isn't exactly worshipped on Gimmick anymore, but it's still, again, part of the cultural area, and it's something that people see and don't necessarily mess with. I don't know. I think that that'll be fun. That'll be something nice and light to do. And I like that it's not a deity that really exists. Looks close enough to be interesting, and it's also like outer space, right? So could could like glue that on there, make that the third eye. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Not right this second anyway, it doesn't matter. But let's get some black paint here. And then the areas where the paint got scraped as I fumbled this toy and moved it around, or this ornament, and moved it around and placed it in various situations and moved it, and didn't really take super care of it, but it's all good. And who knows, maybe I'll make a like some cultists or some monks for whatever this is, as like an eventual belief system within Gimmick. But for now, it'll be just part of a stone altar that exists and helps with the culture that we're building within Gimmick. I think that's one of the cool parts about world building, is if I just decide, like, hey, here's how this is going to be, this is what I want to add to it, and this is why, we can choose that. It can be as complicated or as uncomplicated, and or as uncomplex as I would like it to be. And I'm just cleaning the gold paint out of the cap, because that's the one thing with this gold paint. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's gaseous. Maybe it's off-gassing. Maybe it didn't off-gas enough at the paint factory. But it's always kind of like forced its way up through the top of the paint pot and filled the lid. So just trying to take an opportunity here while this black paint dries to fish some of this gold paint out of the lid. Ouch. I say ouch, is nothing hurt. I didn't hurt anything. Just startled myself enough to make me go ouch. I know this is what everybody tunes in to see. This is Famine Studios. This is like, people are like, what do you guys watch that Famine guy for? And you're like, tune in and see. And this is the one time somebody finally was like, okay, I'll check out what, my buddy's been talking about watching these things on Tuesdays. And it's just a grown man covered in cat hair pulling paint out of a paint bottle dropper. lid. Yeah, see? Cool. That's plugged up too, I bet. Let's see. Let's see. I was just using those over there. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. I'm Famine. We do this Blue Gobe item. It could be a holographic display. Ah, that's a reference to Tony Schiavone. Good job, Bjorn. But I Oop. Is that plugged or no? Oop, oop. We can take a look. Nope, it's not plugged up. Cool. Yuck. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, I'm Famine. We do 1/18 scale world building. Sometimes I do 1-to-1 scale prop making, customizing toys, building dioramas, playsets, ships, you name it. We're working on it here. And usually our streams are a little more lively, but I think today is just a good day to chill out, hang with the homies. And relax a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bright gold paint by Army Painter. I'm just going to start cleaning up this where there was black so that I can then consider coming back in and we'll do a wash or two. But right now we just want to take care of the grievous bald spots that by we I mean I, created when I took the little hook off of this to make this into a statue instead of some weird holiday ornament. There we go. That's satisfactory for me. Because again, it's going to get washes, things of that nature. I'll also have to like make a pillar. Not a pedestal, that's the word. I feel like a deity, no matter what belief system or whatever would have their statue on a pedestal. I could be like, oh, let me do it differently. I'm not gonna, though. Alright, so let's start by let's start by just picking out reds throughout this, but I want to use a different brush for a little more controlled detailing. So I'm just gonna saturate the brush with this red here, and we will start picking out some areas where the red's gonna sit on top. And I don't want it to be too perfect, because again, this is meant to, It's going to look old. It is going to be weathered. I am going to chip off some of the paint and show the gold showing through, but I want it to be something that's revered, but also it's not like super kept up on. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I just put my thumb in the gold paint. Boy, that famine guy, he sure is something. There's a cat hair in there now. Thank you, Daisy. Good enough. Don't get too crazy with it. I do not have one of Starboy's statues. Could be. Could be one of those. What's up, Ian? It's actually a pretty damn good idea. It just looks like a flower. It is a flower. So we'll pick out these little petals that surround whatever that is. Then go around the other ones. This looks like maybe a snake or something. But maybe we'll do a the red ring around whatever the circle is. I don't know what that circle is yet. I haven't landed on that. Maybe perhaps it's something that there was a time when you know, a red ring like that appearing on something was a good sign of fortune, instead of like your Xbox getting the red ring of death. But putting this together here, I like that. Just little pops of this red before we go in and add some other colors. Will be good because it gives it a basis for the things that we're doing. So let's now think of some silver. I know it seems counterintuitive with the amount of gold, but I think silver is going to be the way to go for some of this jewelry, these embellishments that are on here. So we'll do a little bit of shining silver. And just trust me on this. I think this is the way it'll be. This is a good move here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a silver silver dot right there, right in the middle. And we're going to choose this ring here. That's going to be silver. Yeah. Just starting to break up certain things. As I said, there's a lot of like embellishments and flourishes there, as you can see in the design. So little things to help pick out pops of other metallics that have been painted on. We'll say they've been painted on over the years and refreshed. Maybe the local temple or people that just revere this piece of ancient artwork in the community have like kind of cleaned it up, kept it looking decent. I think that's a fun thought experiment, because it's like maybe they aren't practitioners of whatever this belief system is, or maybe they're not that species, but they revere the fact that people put the time in to make such a thing. And while those folks aren't around to take care of it, maybe they take care of it. Because while I might not like the church, if I owned a church building or had a church in front of me that was nicely built, I would take care of it and try and preserve the architecture or the artwork involved. It's just things like that. I think that's a fascinating way to look at it. And for the plates inside the ears, we'll just do some silver in one spot inside of each ear. And you know, I'm going to just do silver on this one side. Why? Kind of just because I can. Doesn't need an explanation. Yeah. And we'll also do just trying to think here. Pick that out a little bit more. This is the way. It's a droid religion? Nah, not a droid religion. I have ideas for that. For like a AI driven droid supremacy type thing. I have some ideas for that, but this ain't it. Let's get some blue. This is where, yeah, I'm gonna go with the blue. I like that idea. But which blue do I want to do? We'll do true blue. And I should get a paper towel so I can get some dry brushing done, because this is gonna be an intricate dry brush. This one right here. You really want texture to take this paint down. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this. Yeah, that's going to take a lot of this texture off, paint off of this. So kind of gives me an idea of how much blue is on there. So I guess we'll start with his little feet. Maybe I need a little more paint on there. There we go. Blue on his feet got him over here looking like he came out not alive. So just getting some blue on there. Let's get the oop, oop. There we go. This is an oddball. This is one of the stranger projects I've done for Gimmick, but I think this will turn out neat. And if anything, it'll add to a little bit of lore for the planet of consequence in the area around Gimmick. Because I'm thinking that the blue of the dye that's used for the paint is one of the only signifiers for them. Oh, too much. Maybe it's one of the signifiers to them that this statue has been here at least a long enough time to where they respect that it's not something that just dropped in from another world, another universe through the portals. So that's why they treat it with such reverence. Maybe it's one of the very few things in Gimmick that reminds anybody of anything that was the original occupants of the land or original tribes or whatever groups of people that lived in this space, in this area. I like that. I like that notion that they are so... Well, everybody kind of scrambles to obtain supplies and things of value, things that be traded, stolen, etc. around Gimmick, because they come in through mysterious rifts that open up in the sky over the desert, that something like this could remain pretty much unfucked with, is the way I want to phrase it. I think that's neat. That's a good idea. Just really starting to get the blue on there. I'm liking that. Because I want the gold to still really still show through that this is like made of a metal. It is something of monetary value. When we look at things that are gold, just societally, as human beings that live on planet Earth, we see something that's gold, we know that it's held in some sort of reverence, some sort of deep value, right? Gold medal, gold watch, 24 karat gold gets mentioned in songs, records go gold. It is a standard, and so we're using this standard to tell a story. What's that story? We don't know yet. We get to build that story, though. I do think we will, the pedestal that it will be on will be made of wood, which will be in keeping with Gimmick's lore, you know, that we've established that wood is like a high value item. It is something that people wish that they could get their grabbers on because of its value. So maybe maybe some pilgrims from other areas that are nearby or in other systems, they maybe make a journey, a pilgrimage to Gimmick to visit this statue. We don't know. I haven't decided yet. Again, I don't want to pay too much into real life, but also history. Historically, these types of things happen across many cultures, so us applying a little bit of that to the lore of this, I think could be a good idea. Maybe there could be a festival built around this thing. I don't know. Maybe it's the appreciation of the sounds that this creature could have made. The music through its vocalization, through its little elephantine. Elephantine, that's going to be the word we use. The elephantine trunk that it has. Maybe it's the culture appreciates that. And so maybe there's a festival and there's cool music, cool sounds from across the galaxy. Pretty badass, right? Go to like some intergalactic music festival. You keep talking about this Max Rebo. Who's Max Rebo? What is that? Is that like a clothing brand or something? Or maybe it's like what was it, Conan O'Brien's Tonight Show band, Max Weinberg and the Max Weinberg 7, who, believe it or not, Max Weinberg plays with Springsteen, and I got to see some of the Max Weinberg 7 perform with Bruce Springsteen in my younger years. So that's fun. Fun for me, maybe not for you guys, but yeah. So there we go. Maybe we'll get a little more blue in the ears. I think the ears could use a little more blue on that side. Okay. Blue, red, and gold. We got some silver on there. Max Rebo trunk extension. Oh, this is, the gold is acrylic paint. Who's kidding? Who's kidding what? What? Did somebody say something funny? Paint loaded on there. That's too much paint. I'll go in there and fluff that out a little bit. There we go. Let's get some copper. I think copper would be fun on here too, a little bit. Also, if you guys didn't know by now that I do know who Max Rebo is, like, which is actually my driving force for me wanting a Book of Boba Fett Season 2, is that I need confirmation about Max's fate. Thank you. Alright, so let's get some copper involved in here. I think copper would be a good statue. Maybe. I'm already kind of like, as I'm over here painting, developing in my head. I don't want it to be a, I don't want it to be like a shrine to Max Rebo. I do like the idea that maybe it's somebody of their species or species-like, but also, he's going to be blind. Whoever this was going to be blind, and I think that their whatever spiritualness attributed to them is due to the sound. I like the idea of a musical deity. Not necessarily, again, because I don't want it to be Max Rebo, but like the, that they use sound to communicate. They use sound to approach the world however they approached it. And that's the thing, and that's maybe why they have a music festival. I like the idea of people taking a pilgrimage for music. Maybe his sweet, sweet sounds pressed away anything bad that was in the area, that was surrounding the area. He found peace. And others came to him to learn peace. Those Von Tramp kids were up to no good. I'm convinced of it. I heard what I said. I know what I said. Before anybody gives me a hard time. I have to put some like wind chime instruments together. That'd be pretty cool. I thought Kate Bush sang that song. Run to the Hills. Is Kate Bush a member of Iron Maiden? Or did she like... Is that kind of like where, you know, Ozzy split off of Black Sabbath, went on to do his own thing? Was it like that with Kate Bush? At this point, I'm just trying to see if I can give somebody an aneurysm with my my questions. Because I know Anthony's over there right now going, is he fucking with me? He's got to be fucking with me. Right? I've never. What is pop culture? Is that a cereal? Snap, Crackle, and Pop Culture. Is that what that is? That's exactly what's happening. Sometimes, guys, you just got to do it for the game, love of the game. Well, you ask questions about the thing. I ask questions that are so goddamn in batshit insane. Like, was Kate Bush a member of Iron Maiden? Come on. Everybody knows that Kate Bush was in the White House with her mom when 9/11 happened. Cool. I'm digging on that. I think I want to make the pan. Well, let me do my white eyes here. Rest in peace, Sugar Bear. Let's see here. The white. I think there's going to have to be a few passes of this, but I just love the idea. So we might not need that many passes. Hell yeah. Boom. I might do. No, I think I need to leave well enough alone here. We're gonna We're going to call this. We're going to stop. Set that aside. Let that dry. Okay, we're going to call it. It's good. Didn't they just get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame recently? That's weird. But it has been an hour. I do have work tomorrow. It is Christmas Eve tomorrow. Still, the world doesn't stop, so I've got to have things falling at me from that direction. So hope you guys have an excellent night. I will see you very soon. Hope you guys are well. If I don't catch you, I know everybody's going to be busy with their family for the holidays, or maybe busy working, or whatever it is, or maybe you're not, but you can always reach out to me on Instagram. I'll catch you. Be glad to, but if I don't, I hope you're well. Hope you enjoy your holiday. If you get time off, awesome. If you don't, I hope it's easy shift. But you guys be well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon. Too sweet me.